5:17 p.m., darkness still blankets the Caribbean Sea. The air hangs thick and warm, unmoving, until the USS Gravely's forward gun mount jolts awake. The low growl of hydraulics breaks the stillness. Metal shifts, bolts tremble, and within seconds, every compartment aboard the destroyer stirs. Sailors pause mid-stride, exchanging silent looks. Across the ship's comms, a single command rolls through the static. Condition 3. Set and man all key stations. No one needs clarification. Every sailor already knows. Something's out there. 3 unknown surface contacts have just appeared on radar, closing fast from the southwest. Their pattern is tight, their approach deliberate, their purpose uncertain. On the tactical display, 3 new call signs blink into existence: Sierra 1, 2, and 3. Their flag of origin, Venezuela. On the bridge, the captain doesn't shout. He never needs to. Orders travel swiftly through the ranks with calm authority. Weapon safeties click off. Communications open. Helmets fasten. Magazines unlock. Deep below, in the Combat Information Center, or CIC, the crew begins plotting movement. The Venezuelan craft are advancing at 28 knots, bearing 243, drawing closer by the second. On deck, the destroyer's 5-inch Mark 45 gun turns slowly toward the dim horizon, stopping just shy of target alignment. A message without words, a signal that says, "We see you. Don't test us." "Visual contact, sir?" The operations officer answers. "Negative, sir. Load radar signature. Likely fast patrol craft. Small displacement, minimal profile. Fast, compact, purposeful. Designed to provoke without quite crossing the line." Moments later, the ship's electronic warfare systems awaken. The SOQ-32 receiver hums alive, scanning the electromagnetic spectrum. Every pulse, ping, and transmission is caught, decoded, and stored. Above, the horizon remains a black void. The sun still hides below the waterline, leaving sailors peering into a sea of shadows. They've rehearsed this scene countless times, but tonight feels different. Caracas has been fuming for days, and this approach doesn't feel random. It feels planned. Because tonight's mission isn't standby, it's presence. Inside the CIC, the tracking officer leans over his console. Contacts now within 12 nautical miles and closing recommend tagging them as possible hostile intent, pending ID. The captain nods once. Acknowledged. Hold course. Weapons ready. Do not engage. Below decks, sailors lock into their stations. Loader crews inspect ammunition feeds. The phalanx CIWS begins to whir to life. Turrets rotate. Metal hums. The ship shifts from quiet readiness to full combat stance in less than 60 seconds. Every sailor trains for this scenario, a high-speed approach that usually ends in routine reports and nervous laughter. But training targets don't fly national colors. "Bridge, CIC, targets accelerating 29 knots, reports the watch officer. "Copy, mark CPA 4.6 nautical miles, calculate intercept." At the helm, an officer tweaks the course, keeping the destroyer within international waters, just 3 miles short of the border. Any drift beyond that line, and this turns into a diplomatic firestorm. Through binoculars, the bridge crew scans the endless dark. The sea appears calm, but radar says otherwise. The Venezuelan patrol boats are holding formation, moving for the Gravely's flank, a maneuver that declares, "We're here too." The captain lifts the intercom. "Engineering, sustain full turbine output, be ready for evasive maneuvering." Then silence returns. Only the drone of machinery and the faint pulse of radar fill the air. Everyone aboard knows what this means. The USS Gravely isn't drifting here by chance. For 2 months, U.S. destroyers and Coast Guard vessels have patrolled the southern Caribbean under Operation Sentinel South, a joint mission to sever drug trafficking lanes cutting through Venezuelan waters. On paper, this is maritime security. In practice, it's a display of power. Just 4 days earlier, a U.S. Navy helicopter interdicted 2 Venezuelan speedboats off Curacao, suspected of ferrying weapons and narcotics. One of those craft ignored repeated warnings and was sunk. Caracas denounced it as aggression. The Pentagon called it law enforcement at sea. Now, the Venezuelan Navy is pressing back, probing the line between defense and defiance. The USS Gravely, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, ranks among the most capable warships afloat. At roughly 155 meters long, its SPY-1D radar can track well over 100 air or surface contacts simultaneously. Its Aegis combat system integrates feeds from U.S. aircraft and satellites in near real time. In effect, it is a seaborne fortress. And that concentration of capability is precisely what makes moments like this perilous. With so much force concentrated in one place, a single misread can spark escalation in seconds. The Venezuelan boats are likely Guaycamacuto-class patrol craft, small, swift, and lightly armed. They're not meant to win fights, they're built to provoke them. Each hull measures under 100 feet, fitted with light guns, short-range missiles, and crews trained in harassment. At U.S. Southern Command, these encounters have a label: controlled friction, a kind of political theater at sea, deliberately provocative, just short of the red line. For the sailors on the Gravely, however, it's not an abstract term, it's immediate. It's closing at 29 knots. Down in the Combat Information Center, the Aegis displays are alive with motion. The SPY-1D fuses radar, sonar, and electronic intercepts into a single dynamic picture. Every watchstander sees the same reality: 3 fast contacts, now under 10 nautical miles. The ship's SLQ-32V3 electronic warfare suite listens on passive mode, scanning for radar locks or targeting emissions. So far, the spectrum is quiet. No active locks, no hostile beams, only the Venezuelan engines roaring across the water. Then the flight deck calls up: "Romeo detachment, prepare for launch." Within minutes, the MH-60R Seahawk Razor 21 is configured and spinning. Deck crews clear tie-downs, disconnect fuel lines, and the rotors accelerate, expelling hot air into the muggy pre-dawn haze. Launch authority is given. At 0519, Razor 21 climbs into the humid Caribbean dawn, twin engines thundering. The bridge's directive is explicit: eyes on, weapons cold. From 200 feet, the Seahawk's IR camera acquires the contacts. 3 holes in V formation, wakes carving white scars across dark water. Thermal imagery shows roughly 6 men on each craft. The lead boat flies a Venezuelan ensign. No visible deck guns, though a long silhouette aft hints at a concealed launcher or mast. Razor 21 to Gravely, visual confirm on 3 holes. Formation steady, speed 28 knots. Copy 21, keep eyes, comes a CIC reply. Inside the helicopter, the sensor operator flips between optical and thermal feeds. Each boat glows like a pale shape against the night. Communications are terse, measured. Everyone knows one misstep could ignite the area. Below, the Gravely holds course, calm and deliberate. The SPY radar watches but does not lock. A radar lock risks being read as hostile intent. Posture, not provocation, is the order of the day. The Seahawk circles outward, a sentinel in the sky. Its mere presence broadcasts the message: we see you. Every move you make, we record. In the gun bay, loaders run the feeds on the Mark 45. The barrel is trained southwest, a mechanical caution should diplomacy fail. Nearby, the failing CIWS idles on standby. Sailors call it angry steel. Its 6 barrels can chew through 4,500 rounds per minute, a last resort against inbound missiles or boats that close too far. Atmosphere aboard is taut, but controlled. Crews have rehearsed this scenario countless times in simulators. The difference tonight: this is real. No mock targets, no safety net, no after-action report to soften the consequences. At 0522, the radar operator's voice cuts through the still air. Contacts inside 5 nautical miles and closing. That's close. Close enough for the Venezuelan sailors to make out the white hull numbers stenciled on the Gravely's gray armor. Close enough for American watchstanders to see shapes moving on foreign decks under the rising light. The bridge hails them over an open channel. Venezuelan naval vessels, this is a United States warship operating in international waters. You are closing distance at high speed. Alter course immediately. The call goes out twice, first in English, then in Spanish. Silence answers. Seconds drag. Then the radar tech again. Lead vessel increasing speed, 29 knots. Range 4.8 nautical miles. The captain doesn't flinch. He orders, show visible posture. Topside systems to line of sight. Do not activate targeting radars. On deck, the Mark 45 gun slews slightly, metal glinting in the pale dawn. The phalanx CIWS turns its blank white dome toward the horizon. No words, no threat, just a warning. We're ready if you push. But the Venezuelans stay on course. Their triangle of speedboats holds formation, deliberate and defiant. Below decks, in the Combat Information Center, tension thickens like static. The radar sweeps feel slower. Every second stretches thin. No one wants to be the first to break the silence or the peace. For nearly a full minute, nothing moves but data. The screens pulse quietly, tracing 3 small echoes creeping closer, steady as heartbeats. Then, finally, over the shared frequency, a crackled voice in accented English. U.S. Warship, this is Venezuelan Navy patrol craft. You are operating inside our exclusive economic zone. Alter your heading immediately. Transmit acknowledgement, the captain replies, tone even. State position and intent. Maintain non-hostile posture. The comms officer keys the mic. This is USS Gravely, United States Navy destroyer, conducting lawful operations in international waters. We will maintain current course. Diplomacy, spoken in steel and certainty. Outside, dawn breaks wide across the Caribbean. The sea glows gold as sunlight spills across the Gravely's bow. The enemy vessels emerge from shadow, gray holes cutting hard through bright water. From above, the Seahawk's infrared feed captures everything. One of the Venezuelan patrol boats veers slightly off formation. Lead contact turning to port, 2 degrees off Gravely's bow, the sensor operator calls. It's no navigational error. It's a flex, a reminder that they can press closer if they choose. In the CIC, the captain's order stays the same. Overhead, Razor 21 loops one final orbit, sensors watching the Venezuelan patrols throttle down and fade east, dissolving into the golden horizon. Then, faintly, through the static, the radio hums once more, a voice, half taunting, half respectful. Safe voyage, Gravely. No one replies. There's nothing left to add. The USS Gravely holds her line, bow slicing forward through calm seas that carry the quiet weight of what almost happened. For the men and women aboard the USS Gravely, this encounter feels like a quiet victory. No shots fired, no lives lost, deterrence preserved. Yet, every sailor knows the truth. This won't be the last. In these waters, confrontation is currency, and presence the ultimate power. As Gravely's gray silhouette slips beneath the orange horizon, one truth lingers in every mind. Peace in the modern age isn't the absence of conflict, it's the mastery of restraint. Hours later, the ship moves through calm waters once more. The radar screens glow empty. No contacts, no echoes, no shadows trailing behind. The ship hums with quiet efficiency as the crew conducts post-operation checks, their faces illuminated by the soft red glow of the Combat Information Center. The tension that once filled every compartment has faded into routine, a rhythm the Navy knows well. In the wardroom, coffee cups clink against metal tables. Officers huddle over screens, replaying the Seahawk drone footage frame by frame, every maneuver, every flare of a Venezuelan searchlight. To most of the world, the incident will be a line in a briefing, forgotten by morning. But to the Navy, it's a signal, another piece in the unending puzzle of deterrence. Every encounter carries a message, unspoken but understood. Strength endures through presence. The footage is encrypted and transmitted via satellite to the Pentagon's digital war room. Within hours, analysts in Virginia compare it to similar standoffs in the South China Sea, the Baltic, the Black Sea. Patterns emerge, fleets testing limits, nations probing reactions. Modern deterrence isn't about battles fought, but boundaries defined. Not destruction, but discipline. In Washington, the discussion turns to gray zone operations, meant to provoke without igniting open war. These quiet confrontations shaped the balance of power more than any missile ever could. The standoff ended without bloodshed, but its message resonates through every command. Presence matters, readiness matters, restraint matters most. For Gravely's crew, the mission is not about confrontation. It's about endurance. Day after day, they sail through contested waters to remind the world that order still has guardians. Deterrence isn't loud. It's steady, patient, unyielding. As the destroyer heads west toward Puerto Rico for resupply, the captain stands alone on the bridge. The horizon glows with the last light of day, calm and deceptive. He knows peace like this is fragile, a thin calm stretched over deep tension. He turns to his executive officer and murmurs, "Next time, somewhere else. Same dance, different ocean." That's the rhythm of the modern Navy. From the Persian Gulf to the Philippine Sea, American destroyers trace invisible lines across the planet, not to seek war, but to prevent it. Their silence carries a message stronger than any weapon. High above, an FA-18 streaks eastward toward the mainland, its contrail fading into the dusk, a fleeting reminder of the narrow line between calm and chaos. For those who stand the watch, there are no headlines, no parades, only duty, vigilance, and the endless horizon. The Pacific, the Atlantic, the Caribbean, different waters, same purpose. Peace is not chance, it's work. Hard, unending, unseen work by those willing to guard it every single day. As night settles over the sea, Gravely's running lights blink faintly against the dark. A single ship among thousands, carrying the silent weight of deterrence through waters that are never truly calm.